There we go. There
Did
he
I
is.
What's up,
Did I
guys?
just wake up?
There we
Yes.
go.
After the stream,
Right, Flood, just
Like
laid
you
back.
should.
We are live.
We're live.
Live.
What's
live
up,
and
everybody?
direct.
Right, let's fucking do this, boys and girls.
Nice.
I'm gonna play this sexy intro.
Wait, do we have a 16? Oh yeah.
oh yeah, I forgot we do have one.
Oh, fuck yes. We
Sweet.
should be quiet.
Okay, ladies, gentlemen, degenerates, welcome finally. This is our first podcast stream we've ever done. It's probably going to be scuffed as fuck, so please bear with us. Thank you for helping us get those audio issues resolved. You probably all know what the Cartel's all about. Most of you guys are from the Discord already, but if you don't know who we are, this is a Discord that was started by Flood, Kane, and Zabs. It's free, and we don't charge for anything. It's completely focused on like learning and teaching you guys to be better traders. We're not a pump and dump server. We're not a troll box. Sometimes we are, and we're all about you guys coming here and educating yourself. And I know a lot of people, like personally, I've learned shitloads from these guys. Some great fucking traders, and we've got another great trader with us today, which is CryptoWest. CryptoWest is our special guest, the Candlesticks guy.
Hello all, nice to meet you.
What's up?
Welcome.
Welcome, West.
Glad
Glad
be
to have you here on
You
the
guys have
first
a great
stream.
community together.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So, West, you're obviously called the Candlesticks guy. Explain to the stream why you're called the Candlesticks guy.
Well, when I first started trading, everyone had all these indicators, fancy lines, Elliott waves, up and down. Thought they were geniuses, right?
Hell yeah.
Until I took them all off and figured out that I was much better just trading a naked candle chart,
Sweet.
and that's how it started.
Hell yeah.
So you don't use any indicators at all? Like you don't, so obviously, horizontal resistances, supports, yada yada, but do you even like, if you're thinking about going for a trade, do you ever like confirm it with any indicators, or are you completely indicator virgin?
Price action signals, so
Price
completely indicatorless. Yep.
Sweet. Okay, so that's who CryptoWest is. Really cool guy. You should follow him on Twitter. His Twitter's on the background right now, and he's also really good for calling people out on Twitter as well. He's just called out loads.
Yeah, a lot of people have blocked him.
Yeah. So his feed's probably quite quiet, but it means our feeds are shit hot. So
Right.
I'm gonna crack on. Now we've got loads of questions for you guys, and these questions were submitted by the public, the degenerates, everyone that's watching us right now. They're not all about crypto.
Nice.
Some of them talk about real life and stuff like that as well. So just I don't know, just batter in. I'll direct a question towards someone, and then just take it from there. We're just shooting the shit with some mates.
You got it, Dad.
Fuck yeah. Thanks,
Fucking
Dad.
shit. Right, question 1 is about trading journeys, your most important lesson and a priority for new traders. So what I want to hear is, how did your trading journey start? What year? Why you started? How you got interested in Bitcoin? Your most important lesson that you've ever learned so far, and if you were going to tell someone who was brand new to trading, if you were going to suggest something to someone who was brand new to trading, what would be the most important lesson for them? So I'm going to start with CryptoWest because he's our guest. On you go, buddy.
All right. Well, I first found out about Bitcoin from poker. I used to play a lot of online poker back in the day, and used to be able to, use Bitcoin to trade and play poker, and that's how I ended up finding about the crypto community. And I always used to invest in my, spare time with poker, and I started actively trading Bitcoin around last year this time, a little bit later, like around April.
All right. Okay. So April 2017 is when you started.
Right. Yeah, it's about a year trading crypto now.
All right. Okay. And in that year, what would you say is the most important lesson, apart from taking all your indicators off?
Yes, biggest. Support and resistance really is key. If you can measure the sentiment, that's important. However, the biggest lesson is mental. You have to get your mental game right.
All right.
You have to predefine your risk and take your profit when the market offers you the right odds, like 3-to-1, 3 times your money. With Bitcoin, we get those opportunities, more often than most other markets. So
yeah, exactly.
You got to make sure you take that profit when it offers that kind of reward.
Absolutely. Okay. And what would you say would be a priority for a brand new trader? What would you want them to learn first?
how to identify support and resistance.
Okay.
Trade
Horizontal
off a
support
naked
and
chart.
resistance.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I,
Right, okay.
I recommend my price action style, but you can also add in indicators. Whatever works best for you.
All right, okay. Right, Flood. What about you? When did you start trading? What was your trading journey per se?
I've been trading for a long time, man, but when I first seriously started trading Bitcoin was around 2015. Uh, if you have more questions about that, I've gone over it a couple of times in various places, but currently I do trade full time. Just to give people an idea of my headspace, I am constantly paying attention to what Bitcoin is doing. And then really quickly, if the first thing that I think everyone should learn is just find something that works for you. Just test a bunch of different indicators, a bunch of different layouts, really like thoroughly back test whatever setup you think will work,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then go from there. Like I think people get caught up or stuck in using, or looking at the chart in one type of lens.
Hmm.
So I think you should definitely experiment a lot and then find something that works for you, fits your trading style, whether it be swing trading, scalping, or if you're a programmer, market making, and then go from there.
Awesome. All right. What about your most important lesson you've ever taught yourself, or BitMEX has taught you?
Learn how to cut a losing trade, like in in October, or I guess like learn how to cut a losing trade, but also learn when it's time to switch, because a lot of times you can get Bitcoin is really trend based, as in it'll go up for a couple months or it'll go down for a couple months, but in my opinion, I think it's really important to be able to flip your bias if need be, and not to get stuck in like the bull mentality or bear mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And if someone came up to you, like a good friend or whatever, and they wanted to get into trading, what would you, if you could be bothered to help them on that long painful journey, what would be the most important lesson for them that you think?
Don't pay attention to the order book and
Yeah, your favorite.
figure out, I guess, stay away from the very complicated technical analysis techniques. Just focus on very simple things that give you actionable signals. And what I mean by that is, have something that actually tells you whether to go long or short. Because like for example, RSI is great, but just because something's oversold or overbought doesn't really tell me anything. So definitely look for questions that or not questions, look for indicators that tell you what to do.
Sweet.
Yep.
So okay, Kane, Zabs, Turnip, which one do you guys want to go?
I don't
Not
mind
it.
going, bro.
All right, Zabs, on you go. Moon it.
All right, so I've also been trading quite a while. I actually got into Bitcoin because of the technology. I know that sounds all crazy and weird, but no, seriously, true life story. So I was an expat in Nigeria for the last 6 years, and I needed a way to get US dollars out of the country and into South Africa. And the fastest, cheapest way to do it was using crypto. So
it wasn't the tech;
that
it
was
was the smuggling.
it was a smuggling.
Sweet. Okay.
But yeah, it was pretty much the easiest way for me to actually basically do transfers. So and now that was probably around about 2015 as well, early 2015 when it kind of crashed.
Yeah.
But like I say, I mean, I was just buying and basically getting it to my wallet in South Africa and then getting it back out. So yeah, that's how I got into it. And then obviously, a little bit of the greed side of you kind of kicks in, and you want to know how to make more
Yeah,
more
exactly.
Bitcoin. And yeah, and then you obviously really get into it. But I did trade quite a lot of other things as well. But crypto is kind of almost 100% now. I hardly trade FX.
All right, sweet. And right, what was your most important lesson?
I probably agree with Flood. Learn when to cut a losing trade. There's been a couple of times though when I did actually cut losing trades, and then price kind of just bounced right back. So I would probably say learn when to cut a losing trade, but obviously the placement of your stop loss.
Yeah. So you don't want to get caught out on something that happened earlier on Finex where we went 9.5 to 8750. You don't want to get caught out by something like that.
And probably some of the most important advice is just for everyone to like really chill. And man, I don't know, like
So
I like trading.
We shouldn't after a $10 drop.
I think that's the biggest problem. I mean, just looking at the Discord most of the time, guys are like, it's dumping. I'm not even looking at a chart. Log into like a 4-hour, 6-hour chart, and it's like, price hardly moved.
Absolutely. Okay.
But most of the charts that I see like in the Discord are like 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute charts, and they're like humongous wicks and super long body candles, which I mean, I would just say zoom out.
Cool. All right, so I'll ask Kane next. I think this one will be interesting because obviously Kane, you guys are all maybe apart from turn up your more longer term positions, lower leverage, all that kind of jazz. And then you have Kane who doesn't take his account off cross leverage because he thinks anything under 20x is for training wheels. So when you go, what was your training journey?
I started around this time last. Oh, what's today? Today's May. We're in May almost. So I started in February of last year, and pretty much started on BitMEX. That was my first account. I had no idea. I'd never traded anything before in life. So yeah, cross is master race. Until you do what I did, and I blew out my first 2 accounts, and learned the value of risk management and shitcoins. But yeah, that's been my journey. My journey has been one of a lot of studying over the past year and a half.
You read a lot of trading books, don't you?
Yeah, I'm the one. Whereas you've got Flood has some institutional background. Turnip has literally just sits down and looks pretty and pushes the green button. I'm the nerd who is sitting here 12, 16 hours a day reading price action books and studying, watching YouTube videos. Yeah, I'm that guy. Very cerebral about things.
Yeah, but we're going to cover trading books a little bit later on because there's a few questions about that as well. So, all right, what's your most important lesson that you've ever learned then?
God, I have to say it's kind of the same as has already been mirrored. It's just learning when to cut a loser. I mean, on my 2 accounts that I blew out, I wouldn't have blown out if I would have cut the loser.
Yeah.
Like immediately. It's that emotional thing. Wes and I agree a lot on the same things and come from the same background. So much of this is psychological. You could learn the technical things that really matter probably in like a week.
Yeah.
You could learn a very technically sound way to trade in about a week, but it's just going to come down to emotions. Time and time again.
All right. Okay, and if you could recommend one thing to someone who's just started trading, what would it be?
Stop trading.
Stop trading.
Stop trading and educate yourself more. People ask me all the time, because I've come up over a year pretty quickly. What was the time that I made the most gains? I took 2 months off and I didn't trade for 2 months, right in the middle of July and August last year. And that's when I came away with the most education and a better trading style after that.
Sweet.
Take some time off, get away from it.
All right, okay. And Turnip, last but not least, tell us about your triangles.
I love triangles. That is all.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, what are the questions again?
When did you start trading Bitcoin? When did you get into Bitcoin?
So I've kind of been interested in Bitcoin ever since like 2013, 2014. I was mining with what pool? Slush pool, I think. I didn't really know what it was, but everyone was talking about it in like the World of Warcraft circles. People could like mine Bitcoin to pay their subscription. The then I didn't really get into started trading until early last year, and I started just hardcore trading, learning everything I could, and yeah, pretty much picked up. Learned my own trading style. People think it's a little dangerous because I was 75x shorting like 20k Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and everyone told me I was going to get wrecked.
Yeah. Well, we're going to
But
talk about
everything's-
that later on as well.
Yeah.
So you'll get your chance to say that you shorted the top and longed the bottom, literally.
Yeah, I
Right.
did.
And what was your most important lesson apart from triangles?
To never always be in a trade. People feel like just because they have access to their account and the price is moving 24/7, that doesn't mean you should be trading 24/7.
Yes.
You should be looking for your entries and planning your exits.
Sweet.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason why. Someone asked me earlier today, oh man, it went to 9.4. We're definitely going to 9.5, 9.7. And look, we retraced like $150. So be careful when you enter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sweet. Okay. So that's question one. I had to kind of get those introductions out the way. Everybody wants to know that kind of jazz. You know, it was the most requested question. So question two is more about the cartels. This is more about for Flood, Zabs, and Kane. You know, how did the cartel start? What made you want to do it? You know, why is the cartel free? And you know, what was your motivations for doing it? So Flood, you can start this one off.
Yeah, so I met Kane and Zabs, I think earlier last year, like definitely quarter 2 of last year. And we kind of talked. We had been friends. We had similar ideas. We were pretty honestly disgusted with a lot of the predatory paid groups and
Sure.
how you know, it was kind of just either pump and dump groups in disguise or people teaching baby pips courses and just kind of rebranding it
Yeah.
with their own marketing strategy. And you know, that's fine. And I don't hate anybody who does that. I personally have nothing against them. I just question, you know, the validity of their ability to teach other people how to trade. And also, you know, if all their calls on Twitter are, you know, average at best, or they're getting stopped out consistently, I don't think they're really qualified to, you know, be teaching people. But again, that's, you know, that's a discussion for another time. And just with the cartel Discord, like, we wanted it to be very raw. We wanted it to be, you know, expressive of how we are as people. So, I mean, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, like, I'm not afraid to, you know, counter trade anybody. I'm not afraid to really say what's on my mind. And, you know, I kind of wanted this community to be open and free, and to have a place for traders to learn if they want to, or to, you know, have discussions and just have it be focused around, you know, Bitcoin margin trading, but, you know, also some altcoins dabbled in there. So yeah, that was my vision, and I'm glad it really came to be.
Sweet. All right. Okay. And so Kane, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, pretty much Flood covered it. I mean, we met in met on Twitter, and we were in you know, Telegram groups, just different stuff. Like, we'd seen each other around, but a lot of people would come to us and ask about, you know, either Bitcoin itself or other stuff. We just kind of figured that there was a lot of people that, you know, weren't getting information that we thought everybody kind of just knew. And so I had the same thing. I fucking despise pay groups for the most part. Kind of the same thing as Flood. People just giving out lackluster information, or just being overall shitty.
Sure.
And so part of the Discord was because we knew we could put out a better product and do it for free. So it was kind of just a fuck you on
Sure.
top of wanting to actually help people. And I started my trading in Whale Pool. Shout out to those guys. I mean, when it first started there, it was a great community to like bounce ideas off of and learn and really educate yourself. And that's what I wanted
Sure.
to do as well. Because I know that for me, as much as I like to read and ingest information, the time that I learned the most is when I actually was challenged at what I thought. You know, so and so had this trade, I'd bring, you know, mine to them and get it tested. So we started out with kind of that idea, and it's definitely grown. I mean, this community is far and above what I thought we would have. 5 months in, it's fantastic people in here, just amazing people I've met
I mean, it's
through
pretty
this so
nuts.
far.
We just,
Yeah.
you guys probably know this now, but we've just hit 10k members in the Discord. That's pretty nuts. I think it's safe to say that we are the biggest free crypto trading Discord.
I think so.
So yeah, that's pretty rad, and thank you guys all for being a part of that. Hopefully we'll see 20k soon. Who knows? General chat will be even more of a mess.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Zabs, have you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally in agreement with the guys, because that was the vision. I mean, we were on Twitter, and Twitter was great just before we started, and then Twitter really started getting a little bit odd. Like everything was becoming kind of like shills and join my paid group, and I think that was almost where we just wanted to like basically put out a product that was probably better than most paid groups, and just really like for the community. So but I think the guys have obviously hit it spot on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was our vision. So it was pretty cool, and we obviously we knew that it was going to be lit, and we knew that it was going to be quite challenging, because we all expected the bear market to hit pretty much when we launched, and I think we launched like on the 4th of Jan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right there. Beginning of the year.
There.
Yep.
Yeah, so we were like, we knew that the bear market was really coming, so we knew it would probably be quite tough. But I think within the first week we'd already hit like 2K.
yeah, absolutely.
And
it was
it was good times. Obviously, we met like a really good group of guys, including yourself and a couple of the honchos and the mods that we got in the group now. And one thing led to another, and we're now putting out podcasts. We've got a website coming up pretty soon. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on the Cartel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd probably say that it's probably one of the more pleasant places to be. Crypto Twitter kind of, I don't know, it's becoming very boring and just like dramatic.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the last couple of days have just been really, really fun being back in the Cartel. I took a little bit of a break on a personal project, and fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think what we set out to achieve, we've done, and I think we've done it like way more than what we actually thought we would have.
Yeah, absolutely. We've completely smashed your goals, and like I joined the Cartel like a few weeks after you guys started up, and I have to say it's like I don't think there is I don't think there is a community like this anywhere else. I've been in a paid group or two. I'm in. I first started off in the dog pound, and there's a lot of nice guys and stuff like that in there, but I don't think it has a scratch on the kind of diversity that we have. And like you guys said, it's like a raw community. We don't deal with bullshit. We don't have braggers. We don't care how big your position size is. We don't care if you're trading 0.001 or 100 Bitcoin. It's just all about like having a good time and sharing ideas with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. So that was question 2. Let's move to question 3. All right, so
But make no mistake, we have some quite large traders early in this Discord.
Yeah, that's what's been amazing.
I mean, yeah. But just understand, like, trade. Like, I've been trading on BitMEX for a long time, right? So I've made a lot of connections with people on the leaderboard. People who do come from or are trading, professionally.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mhm.
So just understand, like, we have a lot of the community, especially at the upper levels, we do this for a living. Like, this is not some kind of side hobby for us. This is not something that we just do in our spare time, and it's kind of we're trading $1,000 dollars or like, no, we're taking million contract position sizes. Like, this is something that we do professionally. That
Each
that
of the
we love.
admins. Yeah, each of the admins is a full-time trader.
I am also full time.
Yeah, and minus I think Coda's in school, building all of our bots and stuff. But yeah, you're myself, Flood, Turnip, Easy Bra, Zabs, and a large majority of your full-time traders.
Yeah.
And yeah, these are the people that, you know, we've talked to. These people, the reason that they're in these positions, trust these people. These people have good information. We want to bring these people like to the forefront to help everybody. It's been amazing so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty sick. Pretty sick.
Pretty sick.
So
Next
question
question,
3, it might be, by the way, I meant to say this at the start, you've probably realised Bandito was meant to be here, but poor Bandito, it's 6 in the morning for him, and he obviously didn't wake up. So rip to our man Bandito. He'll probably be there for the next one. And so the next question is more about trading books. I don't know if all of you want to answer this. I don't know how many of you guys actually read trading books and such. But a quite common question actually was, if you could only own one trading book, which trading book would it be? So Kane, I'll let you kick this off because this is your
trading
kinda,
book.
Yeah, you probably never read one, Turnip, so.
Oh man.
I forget the name. Flood, what's the name of Murphy's book?
Oh, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets by Murphy. That's a good book.
Yeah.
That kind of has everything you need to know.
Yeah,
All the
oldie but a goodie, all the basics. I mean, I'm with West. I think Flood is in the same boat. Like, all the things that you really need to learn to trade, you can learn in a short amount of time relative to what most people would say. It's just becoming confident in those things and executing on them. Flood said it like correct. You have to have actionable signals. Like, those things can come from literally understanding what your price action is telling you, your candles, and then the correctly identifying support and resistance, and that's it. I mean, I've gone through the whole spectrum of nothing to hundreds of indicators back down to I can trade a naked chart. And yeah, so
Naked
a
chart.
very
Who does that?
simple book like Murphy's. Yeah, that's it for me. Just something broad and simple.
All right. What about West? What about yourself? Are you a big fan of the same books, or?
There is one I'd recommend to the people starting out. It's Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas.
Yeah, it's a psychology one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it talks about getting in the flow, and it is a flow. You trade, when you first start trading, you're in this, you don't have any knowledge of, the fear is not there. You don't have it yet. So it brings back that instinct and how to apply it to your trading strategy as you go forward.
That's funny that you mentioned that. I've listened to that one on audiobook probably times.
All right, so
great audiobook.
So Murphy's book and also Trading in the Zone. So Flood, you and Murphy's book as well. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd probably say Murphy's book. A lot of if you're interested in market making, also there's algorithmic and high frequency trading.
Yeah.
That's a really good. That's more of a math intensive book, but if you're interested in kind of learning risk management from a market making perspective, quote sizes, kind of how to deal with implied volatility. Obviously not. That's for legacy markets, so it's not necessarily for a 24-hour super volatile market, but that's definitely a good perspective for those math majors. Here, I mean, I struggled a little bit. I had to look for or ask some of my friends for help, just because it is really math intensive. But I would absolutely recommend that for the more ambitious traders.
All right.
Nice.
Zabs, what about yourself?
I'm actually reading a book called In the Zone. It's by Clyde Brolin.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the psychological stuff more. What I have learned from, the psychological books is also just to, calm down. You don't always have to be in a trade like Turnip mentioned earlier. And also just, not to fear. Like, I think that the biggest issue with new traders is they kind of, they fear their ability rather than learning from their mistakes. So they don't even take the chance at the beginning. And then they panic when it goes against them. So yeah, take a look at the book. It's a really good read.
So basically, psychology of being in a trade and the basics is what you guys are all collectively saying. Turnip, do you have anything to add?
No.
All right. Okay.
I haven't really read many trading books.
All right, okay. None at all. None at all.
Nope. Wolf of
That's
Wall
also-
Street. Does the movie count?
Wolf of Wall Street. The book is so different from the movie. The book's actually really depressing for those of you who have read the Wolf of Wall Street book. But no, I mean, just to kind of comment on what Turnip's saying, you don't need to know. I think, okay, let me rephrase that. I think a lot of people overcomplicate TA. Like
Mhm.
TA is used to give you asymmetrical risk reward entries, right? Not necessarily to predict future prices. I mean, you may be able to use it like that, but typically it's not used for that. So I think a lot of people overcomplicate it. I think, people have flooded their chart with, 50 different indicators that all tell them the same thing.
Huh.
And really, the price is going to go up or down, right? So who cares if
Up or
it's
down.
overbought, oversold? You're trying to figure out which direction it's going to go, and you're not going to be right every single time, but at least have some sort of opinion or idea. And so yeah, don't overcomplicate it, and you don't have to read every single trading book. You don't have to learn ICT's methods. Like, don't overcomplicate. Keep it simple, right? Keep it simple, stupid.
Kiss me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is true. And that's why you see such a varied like response to that question from all of us. Like some people, just for me, like for me to get it down to a simple thing, I want to understand high level to low level. Some people are like that. Other people like Turnip. Like it's just certain things just click.
Yeah, it's been natural for them.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So I was trading books, and so the next question I thought was quite interesting, and it was who has impacted or influenced your trading the most? Right. So Turnip, I'll start with you. Who has been your most influential, or who's given you the biggest impact in your trading?
Probably West and Rado and like Arby. Probably the trifecta. I mean,
The
watching
trifecta.
watching Arby market buy 500K contract positions as as just like a scalp is pretty insane to watch. And I mean, it usually doesn't really go against him, and he's pretty good at when he takes positions. Rado seems to have found a strategy that like works for him. He uses the TD9 indicator.
Mhm.
I mean, I might not like it, but he kind of, with him using his little system, it kind of helped me find like my little system, right? Like what works for some people obviously doesn't work for everyone. And West, just because he trades completely different than me, because he just trades bare candles and I trade pretty much solely memes. Like seriously, I just trade memes. It's ridiculous. But when we come to the same price targets and the same entries, like we'll come down to the same dollar value, like literally the same dollar value for an entry and an exit. And it's always pretty interesting to watch when that happens, because that means our trade is going to go really well. But when we disagree, one of us usually bleeds. Like pretty heavy. Like it's a heavy bleed.
Okay. So RB West and Rado would be yours. Okay. Flood, what about yourself?
Most influential traders. Oh.
Who's
Okay.
influencing
Most
you?
influential traders for me, it'd have to be Ahir Leo. He's number 16 or 17 on the BitMEX leaderboard. Obviously, Rado, RB, anyone in Cryptopolis. They have another free Discord that's really cool, mainly just BitMEX focused. Shout out to them. And then also Fritz Murphy on Crypto Red Pill on Twitter. He definitely, I didn't really use Guppy before I saw his Twitter, and then I copied him. I really liked the Guppy. I thought it was I mean, I had heard of it before, but I didn't actually know what it was called, and he seemed to know what he was doing. So yeah, shout out to him as well. But yeah, definitely Ahir Leo, just showing me the bullish way, understanding that, if you are a believer in Bitcoin, and I'm serious, if you are a believer in Bitcoin, shorts should be just to hedge your cold storage, right? I mean, at least in my opinion, I think the only reason I'm going to be shorting, or at least net short Bitcoin, is to preserve my US dollar value, so I don't completely neck or something, right? So
absolutely.
that's those are definitely a couple traders that have helped me out a lot.
Yeah, okay, so that's something. I mean, that's something I've heard you say quite a lot before. Is if you're long term bullish on Bitcoin, then shorting it should only be for either a hedge or a really short term trade. You shouldn't be looking to just constantly short. All right, okay, that's quite interesting. So Zabs, what about yourself?
I'd probably have to say Orca, CryptoWildWest. I'm from Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got just like the way that he presents information is really cool. And then it's gonna sound really weird, but yeah, Kane and Flood as well, man. Fuck. Kane got me like looking at much higher level stuff, and Flood's influenced me to actually open a Mex account. So
You finally did it?
Whoa. Is this finally happening?
Yeah.
Oh,
Welcome.
man.
How high a
To the
leverage have you
party.
been so far,
Excellent.
Zabs?
Yeah, you don't want to be trading on Finex nowadays. You saw what happened last night.
Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what's nice about Finex is that it's just like low leverage. So I mean, I hardly get stressed, and when I do work on personal projects and stuff that takes my time up, you know, I don't have to stress about it. I can just like kind of let good trades run. And I mean, the last setup was really bad that I got into.
Yeah,
I
we
just kept
don't talk
buying and
about that.
it worked out really well.
Yeah, just held it.
For those who don't understand, what Zabs is referring to is Zabs only in the last 10 days has gotten out from an underwater long. Zabs is the strongest hands I've ever seen. He's been holding a long since 10-2, was it?
10-8.
10-8, and he's been averaging down. You got his average to
Jeez.
7-1, and now he's in big boy profits.
Big boy profits. But what did that stem from? Risk management. His position wasn't retard like huge to start out with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fantastic risk management to start with.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so Ken, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Oh yeah, so influences. First off, for anybody that knows whale pool, there's a guy in whale pool last year named Maven. Maven just very, most would say dry, but he was the one who told me first off, you know, profitable trading should be boring, and that stuck with me. Even though I use scalp, you know, lower time frames, that mantra, that idea that, you know, profitable trading should be boring has stuck with me a shit ton. I would say along with Zabs, Flood S2, like before, like really getting into like trading with Flood and stuff, like I was part of the problems that I had from when I first started was I got lucky when I first started trading. I literally longed the beginning of the bull run. On my first trade, I had this whole like mentality, which a lot of people have, is like finding like the unicorn positions, finding these big profitable positions, and they don't understand how to just take profit on things. Flood helped me understand that, and that helped my scalping a lot too. The other guy from Twitter, I am Nomad, the whole
Yep.
no need to be upset thing. That has got me. that has got me so strong into like, okay, when the masses are one way, I really want to look at the opposite side of that. That he really got me into that over the course of the last 6 months. Not just for contrarian sake, like some people like to do that, and I act that way sometimes, but to really sit down and look, okay, well, everybody feels this way, everybody is saying this, everybody is thinking this, and if everybody is usually wrong, what do I need to look at right now? And that's been, I wouldn't just say super helpful, it's been super profitable as well.
Yeah. That's something you actually talked about in your most recent video, West, where you said, when everybody's looking towards a level, when the retailers, as they're called, are looking to a level, we don't usually get that level.
Right.
So anyway, it's your turn to answer the question, Wes. So on you go. Who's your most influential, or who's impacted your trading the most?
I would say Turnip, because we shared ideas since we started way back. Actually, this time, like May 10th or so, and a lot of people on crypto Twitter. You guys actually, I joined your group as soon as it started in January, and most of the time I'm doing my own little bias on Twitter, posting my own stuff. So. Yeah, you guys have definitely opened my eyes to, a community and sharing ideas. So it's been great.
Yeah, good stuff.
Awesome.
Man. Good having you aboard.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Been a lot of fun.
To the people asking for the Twitters in the chat, if you look at our names on the background, they've got everybody's Twitter profiles, so you can get them that way. Okay, so question 5 is, if I don't cuck the PowerPoint presentation.
Nice.
Your most memorable crypto trade. Now I'm going to start with Turnip on this one because I think we all know what he's going to go with. So Turnip, what was your most memorable crypto trade and why was it so memorable?
Here we go.
Okay, so everyone was talking. I was asking. So I wanted to. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, it was like November-ish, early November, and I used to trade. I never really traded Bitcoin on leverage, mostly because it scared the shit out of me. Because I kind of know myself, and I know I would get carried away. Like I'm very good with I'm very comfortable with high risk things, which is terrible when you're starting out margin trading, right? So like I kind of learned the ropes, and West kept trying to get me into BitMEX, but then once I saw the opportunity that Bitcoin was kind of be peaking, we were running up, we were going vertical, it was kind of out of control, and there was just no way we were gonna go past 20K, especially after we failed 20K that first time. So yeah, Wes got me on BitMEX, and I was trying to warn everybody like nicely, like guys, it's the top, like you should start shorting. And that's when everybody was so bullish, and like it was retard bullish because it's never been your best interest to short Bitcoin before. What you get like a couple $100 retrace, like what do you fucking do? Yep. So everybody's talking shit, including Flood, telling me to neck myself on the daily, telling me his position sizes are my fees, or no, his fees are my position sizes over and over again. That was like the most memorable quote. He's like, "Your position sizes are my fees." I was like, "Wow." Like I want to post what I have, but I don't want to show everybody like, "Oh fuck, they're gonna come after my position."
Yeah.
But yeah, I shorted pretty much the top with West. Like I had 1.5 million contracts open from the top. It averaged it up, but yeah, from the top, 1.5 million, 75x leverage.
Jesus, yeah, okay, so that was a very.
And I rode that
trade.
all the way pretty much to like 15, 13, and 10K.
Nice, okay. And did you add to that position while it was up, or did you just let it ride?
I literally just let it ride and talk so much shit in short box. Just spamming easy peasy short life got so boring because easy peasy started to become of like my regular day vernacular. Like I'd be saying it to people, and people look at me like, "Why is this kid saying easy peasy?"
When I first met you, that's all it was.
Yeah. I was really freaking annoying, but that was kind of the point.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay, so I feel like it's only fair to give Flood a chance here for a rebuttal. So Flood, what was your most memorable trade? It doesn't have to be your most successful trade, but what was your most memorable?
My most memorable trade was okay, so after I realized that the bull cause was lost after we broke around like 15K, kind of gave up on the bull meme, started listening to Turnip. It's funny, me and Wonton, we were talking about Rado and Wonton. So we had like listened to Rado before because he was really, really good around like 7, 8, 9K. Like he was always bullish before he started shorting around 13. So we were just kind of copying his trades for a little while just because he was killing it. And then Wonton just messaged me one day. I remember he's like, "Turnip out Rado." So I'm gonna listen to Turnip now at like 15K.
Yeah, actually, Wonton offered me like a job at some trading desk, which was
oh really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
What's your qualifications? I can draw a really great triangle, guy.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I'm like, "Dude, you sure you want me to? You sure that interview?" It's like, can you chart this chart? And it's just literally triangles and inverse head and shoulders.
Well, good thing you didn't take that job, because otherwise, you wouldn't be doing streams every day like he's doing now. So shout out to Turnip's stream, by the way. You guys should always make sure to watch them.
I'm streaming right after this.
Yeah, right after this, and he's been live every day this week. But sorry, I interrupted you, Flood. You still haven't actually said your most memorable trade.
Yeah, no, you're good. But my most memorable trade was I tweeted out like 9,300, and then that's exactly where we bottomed within like $40. And I posted my bid size ahead of time. I posted like, I think I was 750K long, or I had 750K in bids around like 9,320, and then another 250K around 301 or something, and they both got filled. And then I woke up and we were at like 10-2 or something.
I was actually gonna say, if you hadn't brought that trade up, I was actually gonna bring that up, because I remember, like, you know, like for anybody, you know, I'm very new to the crypto space and stuff like that. I don't think I'm a great trader by any means, but when I started hanging out in the cartel more and more, and I kind of knew Flood from the dog pound, and I came in and he posted 9-4, and everyone was like, "Fuck your 9-4, you're not getting it." And he's like, "My bids are in. I'm going to sleep. See you fucking nerds at 9-4." You know, you put the line in the sand, as they say. And I was, you know, I'm UK, he's US, so he went to bed just a minute morning, and I watched it go to fucking 9.4k, like 9,350 or what it was, and then just worked right back up, and I was in disbelief. Because I didn't, you know, when I saw it dumping, I was like still new, so I was still panicking. I was like, "Fuck, this is going to 0. You know, this isn't going to bounce off 9-4." And honestly, like, it worked so quickly, and I was just like staring at it like slack-jawed, like, holy fuck. And you woke up and just tweeted cha-ching with like a 40% ROE, which, you know, you guys are probably like 40% ROE, ooh, but when you're on 3x leverage, you know, it's a big deal. And and I was like, right, okay, I'm chilling in this Discord from full time now, and that's when I became a degenerate.
Yeah, and that speaks also to trading in general. Is, you know, you really want to be greedy when everyone else is freaking out, because the average person is pretty emotional, right? Like, I think Arthur said it best. He kind of said a lot of Bitcoin traders are not professional traders, and they're high on life, but also very, very scared. Meaning that, you know, they'll market sell, market buy within, you know, a couple minutes sometimes. Like, I've seen traders enter and exit like $1 million positions, super leveraged, of course, but you know, just that's kind of the market we live in, which also it's so volatile. And then people who are very scared, they're you know, they're constantly market buying, market selling and stuff. So, you know, just having a set plan, and even if everyone says you're wrong or everyone thinks you're really stupid, that's okay, because, you know, the average person, contrary to what they want you to believe on Twitter, probably isn't making that much money, if any at all.
Right,
so yeah, that's.
So the 9-4 long for you was your most profitable trade, or not your most profitable, but your most memorable. All right.
Yeah, I think it was because I tweeted it out like at 13K or like 14K. I said like, well, we're probably going sub 10K. Like, I think that'd be a really good capitulation wick and stop run. And then I kind of just went to bed at like 9-8. I was like, all right, I've seen this movie before. We just kind of inched downwards. Then woke up and everything worked out well. You love to see that. Flood fans on Twitter, you love to see you waking up to profit.
I think I also remember when you woke up and went cha-ching. It might have been Kane, but Kane was like, "Oh, he's going to be so insufferable now." And you were like in the Discord, like swinging your fucking eggplant emojis around, like, yeah. All right, Zabs, what about yourself? What was your most memorable trade, Zabs?
It's probably between two, but I'd probably say longing like 0.023 on Ethereum last year.
When did you close?
Yeah, so bro, I literally held it for about 3 months.
Really?
I closed at like 0. What was it? It was almost 165%, man.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was it wasn't the most profitable because I didn't have a humongous. I didn't actually put a humongous bid in, but I called 0.23 from when it was up at about the 0.07 range.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I probably got the most flack that I ever got before. So I mean, pretty much everyone told me that I was retarded and that it would never go that low.
So far, three of these memorable trades have been ones where you guys have gone completely against the trend, and you know it might not have been your most profitable trade, but you've gone completely against the trend. You've gotten loads of shit for it, and then you guys were right. So it's obviously a very it's great for your mentality to see that, and must. Like Kane said, you must have been insufferable for a little while afterwards.
It's hard not to be, man.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
It is.
Kane, what about yourself?
Oh, I'm gonna shy away from a BitMEX trade because I do have one, but my most memorable has to be the
It's gonna
trade that
say
actually.
Ripple.
No, this is the trade that actually saved my trading career. So like I said, I blew out my first account and 85% of my second account. The trade that actually saved my life was DGB last year.
Oh, God.
So
It's even worse than
yeah.
Ripple.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, this goes into like the whole like when we talk about like alts and like quote unquote alt season and just like not the hodl bullshit, but like trading a longer time frame. And
Yeah.
there comes a time to trade a longer time frame. I bought DGB at 82 satoshis and sold 2,400.
Lovely.
So but part of that hold was just like I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Like all the OGs, everybody on crypto Twitter, I was still new this time. I was like, oh, 400 satoshis sell, 500 sell, and I'm just sitting here like I had taken the time. I'm like, I'm not gonna log into these exchange accounts for like 3 weeks. I'm gonna read books. I'm just gonna watch things. I'm gonna sit on my hands and teach myself the emotions of just managing my emotions because that's what had gotten me fucked already at that point was not managing my emotions in trades. Ended up being a massively profitable trade that restarted my entire balance after losing so much. Definitely my most memorable.
Okay. And Wes, do you want to wrap us up with your most memorable trade? By the way, I'm just noticing, I don't know how long, we didn't actually set a time for this podcast, but I don't want to go on too long. I don't want you guys to get bored.
Okay.
And we're only on question 5, and that's been an hour.
I'll say, okay.
Yeah.
I'll say my
pressure.
most memorable trade was predicting that giant $1,300 green candle squeeze up to 8K.
Yeah, it's the one, just
nice.
10 days ago or whatever.
Yeah, that
Nice.
one would be definitely one of my best
absolutely.
ones. Because it really was, it was that 12 days of just watching paint dry on Bitcoin. We never seen anything like that before.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was like a
68
normal
for
market.
2 weeks. It was
Yep.
just long, it was hard. And I held this trade with the exact target being 8K for a short squeeze. And it was just, that definitely was up there my most memorable
Yeah,
trade.
absolutely. And a lot of guys didn't believe this when I tweeted this out in the Cartel Twitter, but I think every single admin bar Easy Brad, because he isn't really long Bitcoin, called the bottom on this this massive dildo up, and all of you within 5 minutes of that candle starting were instantly in general chat like, we were fucking long, we knew.
Yeah. I think we were all at that point. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. So
I think what was really cool about that as well was that literally every single account on Twitter was like, it's going to
Was bearish.
2K.
Yeah.
And I think we had all tweeted like it's going to 8K.
I tweeted that picture of the bearish pennant, and I said, "This is the only analysis of Bitcoin you can do. You're gonna stay fucking poor." And literally, like 4 hours later, we go straight up.
It really was something else.
That was
beautiful.
decent, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of straight up, IOST.
IOST's moon?
Yeah, I told everyone that yesterday.
I know.
Mentioned IOST for a couple months now.
Ding ding.
All right. Okay. So
Get
next
tracked.
question, guys, is this one's gonna be quite funny. I think your favorite part of crypto aside from the profits, right? So I'm gonna start with Zabs because Zabs was the only one who owned up to saying he was in it for the technology. So Zabs, what is your favorite thing about crypto apart from the profits? You guys were all like, I'm just here to get rich quick. Zabs is like, nah, man, it helped me smuggle money.
Well, look, I mean, for me, and it's gonna sound probably really corny, but literally waking up and knowing that there's a community that you can share your ideas with and get really passionate about something, and that's the cartel, bro.
Yeah,
Apart
absolutely.
from making profits, I dig hanging out, man. It's like
First
it's
thing
literally my favorite thing to do is go take a look at the cartel when I wake up and spend as much time as I can in it.
Yeah, absolutely. First thing I do when I wake up is I check Bitcoin price, and then I go straight into the cartel for a Wasa nerd.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
And
Hell
that's
yeah,
that's me. That is us until I go to bed, and I have to say I sleep like 3 hours less than I used to since I joined the cartel. Very, and unlike you guys, I still have a fucking job. I'm a wage cuck still, so yeah, I wake up and I like go to work, and I've managed to cuck the system. I can get on Discord at work and all that jazz, and I like honestly, my productivity is died.
Oh, no.
It's not. I'm joking. All right, okay. So Flood, apart from profits, what's your favorite part of crypto?
It's my favorite part of the shit talking on Twitter, and then second to that, when I do dox myself, people saying stuff to my face at the Bitcoin convention.
Bitcoin convention.
Serious about that.
Man, you stole.
It's
That's
yours though. That's
Yep.
yours.
That's
I
what
can't
I'm
take that from you.
most excited for.
Yeah.
With
Are you
crypto.
going to any Bitcoin conventions soon?
That's that'll come later. I'll
Okay.
once I take care of all the personal life obligations, then I'll be ready to see
Nice.
You
I'd love
know,
to meet you there.
all
one day.
these nerds.
Absolutely.
You gotta sort out your IRL hedges.
My IRL hedges. I love hedging. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm always hedged.
Hedge master.
Even when I lose, I win. That's
There you go. He said it now. Okay.
Make it stop.
Someone clip that. Okay. Right. Okay. So, Turnip, what about yourself?
I mean, it's got to be the community, but also like how fast like the market moves.
Yeah.
You know,
You
like
enjoy that volatility.
it's
It
very,
doesn't let you get bored.
it's so easy to stay engaged, and it like a lot of people say they played video games, and now this is the only video game they play.
Yeah. I'm the
And-
exact same. Yeah.
And the crazy part is like you can actually make a living off of it.
Yeah. It's almost like a video game when you're on BitMEX as well. Like you said, you have the little animations because it reminds you of a casino.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitcoin, just little points you add up, accumulate.
All right, West. What about yourself? What's your favorite part of crypto aside from the profits?
The 24/7 market, the freedom, and meeting interesting people. But I definitely have to say the poking fun on Twitter for sure.
Yeah. You're also just like Flood. You love talking shit on Twitter. In fact, you probably call out more people than anyone else on Twitter. I'd say.
Yeah, it's a blast.
It's a blast.
It is a blast.
All right, Kane, finish us off. What's your favorite part of crypto aside from the profits?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I enjoy the shit talking. I think it's funny that you got a bunch of kids that are behind a non-accounts and still can't directly call out somebody. That's pretty fucking hilarious.
That's
You're
good.
in a non-account and you still can't directly call somebody out. You got to substitute somebody.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Bitlord.
But other than that, I'm highly competitive. Same video game thing. Like I come from competitive gaming. I like the fact that, and this sounds arrogant until like you understand it, like the context. But this trading game, it's a blank check once you understand that it is a blank check.
Yeah.
Like that sounds redundant, but that's the psychology of it. Like I can spend more time and I can get better and I can make more than you.
Yeah.
I can spend more time, and it's not even another person; it's myself first and foremost.
So it's about basically it's about a dick measuring competition for you. You like being able to prove that you're the best at it.
It's like going to it's not even the best for anybody else. It's like going to the gym. That's a very pure form of challenge. There's nobody here that is going to prevent me from getting better. There is no barrier. There is no just default barrier to winning more here. You know what I mean?
The sky's the limit kind of thing.
Exactly. And once you truly understand that and you apply yourself like that's when you get like West and myself and Turnip and Flood, where it's just like we seem like we eat, sleep, and breathe this because we do. Why? Because we understand like there's some urgency to it. Like I don't want to be doing this my entire life. I don't need to. Like the returns and all these things are so good that I could do it for a year and be set for life. And that's that's arrogant. No, it's not. Like I came into this with a couple $100 fucking. Like, don't fucking tell me that you can't win big. You just need to apply. Yeah, you need to apply yourself. That's it.
Sweet.
You can.
And
So,
and you can in this. That's what I enjoy.
Okay. So to summarize there, the Twitter clout for Flood and West, Turnip loves the community, Zabs loves the community, and Kane loves proving that he is number one. So
Number one.
so
Number
question
one.
7 was another very another very common question, and it was how you push past your emotions when trading. Now I'm going to start with West on this. So on you go, West.
Well, from poker, a lot of that correlates over, and that helped my emotions starting out.
Yeah.
But you have to completely be with the flow. You can't be your bias. You have to be able to pivot if you're wrong. You can't go out of ego. So if you make a call or post, you have to be able to say, you know what, we're going to go down and make a trade off it. You can't have any bias towards, your ego.
Yeah, and you got to believe in it.
Exactly, absolutely.
So on point.
Yeah. All right. Flood. How do you push past your emotions?
How do you push past your emotions? Find outlets that are, if you can, as long as you're not disabled or something, find outlets that are physically straining and mentally straining. So, I mean, the gym's a good example, right? Like, I go to the gym almost every day when I can, not because, I want to look a certain way necessarily, or I mean, you need to, right? You need to be active and healthy, but the gym is just a really good example of something that's completely separate to training, but trains the same mental muscle, in the sense like training is also a lot of endurance and stress tolerance. So, not everyone can be underwater on a trade and still think clearly. Not that you're ever going to be like underwater at the gym, but what I mean by that is, it's a lot of just being able to focus and channel your energy into something that necessarily might not want to do. Like, I don't wake up every single day and want to trade, but if I see an entry that I like or that fits my system or my risk model, whatever, I need to take that trade because this is how I've made a living, and I want to secure as much wealth as possible while Bitcoin and this bubble is still around. But it's really important to not let trading be your entire life, and it's really hard to do that when we're in a 24-hour market, because you can wake up at 3 a.m. and trade, you can get drunk and trade, so it's important to focus on the present when you're not in front of your computer screen. It's important to spend time with friends, even to make friends. If you don't have friends, man, like, it's important to have other outlets and pursuits outside of trading, because whether you realize it or not, it will help you trade. It will help you, because you're going to return with a clear mind. You're going to return with I don't know, a different outlook. If you're just sitting and staring at a screen all day, you're going to, I think chart watching is cancer. Like, I don't really watch charts all day. I like to read, I like to write, I like to go outside when I can. So
Yeah.
I think that's important, and that's not really talked about, is that, you can get burnt out in this 24-hour market, and it's important to do something else.
It's really common, I think, as well. And
go ahead. No, I was just saying, I just want to go like riff right off of that, is because I can relate to that, because I have, in the last even 4 months, I've violated all that completely, and it's worn on me like 100%. Like, having, from other stresses of other things and wanting to double down on things, isolating from friends, family, and I talk about this a lot. Like Flood said, going to the gym, having other challenging, not even just hobbies, but goals. Yeah, keeping your mind busy, keeping your body busy, having something outside of this, because it's just like when you have when you have no option, and you get locked into just one thing, it starts to eat at you. It really does. You have to have other outlets for things. Yeah. And just being in violation of that the past few months has shown me the value of that. Sweet. So on point what Flood said.
So really, having a lot of other distractions and basically keeping yourself busy, so you're not chart watching constantly. It's not a bad idea, definitely.
A disciplined life.
It's just you gotta live, right? There's no point to all of this if you're not living. I mean, most of your trades should be automated anyway. You should know where your stop loss should be. You should know where your take profits are. So there's really no reason you need to babysit the trade anyway.
Yeah.
And you can't sit in your dark room like till odd hours of the night, and all your friends, assuming you have them, they're gonna all think they're gonna think you're dead or something. Like you're gonna lose you're gonna lose connections with all of these people in real life, and it's really I mean, there's no
It'll eat
point
at-
to this
it'll eat
if
at
you
you.
don't have a life outside of it, because making more money won't make you happy.
Sweet. All right. Zabs, what about yourself? How do you push past your emotions?
Well, pretty much exactly the same. I like taking on, you know, personal projects. So most of you guys know that I'm also in the restaurant game. I love it. And what's nice is, I mean, once I start something, I pretty much get devoted to it. So, you know, just having other passions and other interests and other goals in life.
Yep.
You know, whether it's just finish reading a book, or, you know, like anything other than like, you know, even if you make your goal, like don't watch Bitcoin for more than like an hour. I think all of that's like really, really good. Because yeah, like Flood said, it's super cancerous when you start watching charts. And I'd pretty much say that it's quite cancerous when all you do is chat to your mates about Bitcoin as well. I mean,
you don't want to go and, you know, just start talking about it
I
constantly.
remember going through a stage where literally everybody that I spoke to, all I could speak about was Bitcoin, and that's when I kind of realized, like, whoa, you know, you got to kind of
take a step back at that point.
Yeah, and enjoy life. Get out there and you know, get interests and like Turnip said, you should know pretty much where you're gonna get out of a trade, whether you're in a losing position or a winning position. You should know, like, I'm getting out there.
Robotic.
And it should already be set. It should already be set in stone. If you are watching, then you kind of, I mean, I would almost say that it is almost gambling. You know, you're babysitting a trade, then emotions start coming in. You're gonna be, shit, it's getting really close to my stop. I wonder if I shouldn't just move it back down. And that's when like most people actually, you know, get themselves into worse positions than like better positions. So yeah, get away from the PC.
Set your stops, set your targets. Walk away, do something else. Keep yourself busy. Don't just char watch. And West, remind me, did you start the question off, or you yet to answer?
I started it off.
All right, okay. I thought so. I just wanted to double check. Okay. So all good points. Thanks for that, guys. Okay, and a follow up to this question was the best way to monitor trades, which I guess you guys have kind of answered. You've said don't.
Don't. It should all be everything should be planned out. I just want to add one thing though. For those of you guys who know who ETF denied bot is, he had a great saying. He said, "Anger is how you lose out on a trade and you make bad decisions. Tilt is how you blow out your account, and then raging and just kind of capitulating is how you completely blow out your life." So, you know, that applies to pretty much everything you'll ever do. And just something that Kane's talked about a lot, which he's mentioned to me, is trading is also a reflection of kind of who you are as a person. I think you know, you need to find a trading style that mirrors who you are and your strengths. Like if you're really good at, you know, counter trading when everyone's really scared, then swing trade like me. If you're really good at, you know, quick decision making, then scalp, right? But, you know, definitely find something that kind of suits you. But yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Okay.
And it takes time to find that, and don't. And if you are like, if you nail like these longer term alt trades, but everybody else is like, oh, they're so good at, you know, short-term trades on BitMEX, but you keep losing money doing that, don't fucking try to keep doing the thing you're losing money at. Just be okay. Like what Wes said and Flood said, cut your fucking ego. Like you got to choose. Do you want to have your ego and be right, or you want to make money? Like you have to choose. And if the one thing is not what you like to do, but you're proficient at it and you're making money at it, just that's where it comes down to. This shows who you are as a person. It's more painful emotionally as a person. You just got to deal with it. Like,
yeah, absolutely. And one of the other bits with this was how to sleep in a trade. But I'm gonna go ahead and just say that you guys, you know, it's a kind of exact same we've just been saying. You're all robotic about how you trade. You know where your stops are. If it hits your stops, big whoop to do. You know, you were stopped out, and you know where your take profits are. Your limit closes are usually in the books already. So, you know, it's easy for you guys to sleep because you're only taking a trade if you're super comfortable with it. You're not FOMO buying at 9.419 because you think it's going to go to 9.5. You know, you're like, you know, you're looking for long, maybe not so much longer term solutions, but you're looking for key areas. You know, you want to be happy with where you are. You've thought out your trades. You've got the risk reward right and all that jazz. So, is that a fair enough summary?
Trade, your position's too big.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
I agree.
Great point.
Agreed.
Okay, so question 8. Now, I put this in because it was like really requested, but like I know how this is gonna go. It's fundamental versus technical analysis.
Oh.
I'm gonna get Zabs to kick this off because Zabs does a lot of ICO checks, and I don't know if you guys know this, but we have a community fund at the Cartel that is traded by Zabs, Flood, and Kane, and we're a free Discord. These guys don't make any money off the Cartel, and any donations that you guys have sent in is traded, and it's going to be used for rewarding the community eventually. And Zabs actually won $10,000 worth of Luckbox coins because he did a great ICO review of and entered into a competition. So Zabs, you want to kick it off? Fundamental versus technical analysis.
Start us off.
Fundamentals for me, a lot of guys I think kind of get too in depth and like too close and personal with the project. So I kind of, when it comes to fundamentals, I mean, you do need them, and I definitely think, like, if I look at Sedgwick and Lightning and what they're doing for Bitcoin, I kind of want to look at fundamental analysis like in a bigger picture. So those type of things, I'm not hell bent that they are the best solution or that they're the greatest thing and they're going to move price now. But if I do look at, I think at the top we had like something like 250,000 unconfirmed transactions.
Yeah.
And then after Sedgwick, I think we've only got like 2,000 unconfirmed transactions, and we're getting, stuff like literally clearing in block sizes of like, or in blocks every 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
These type of things, I like to look at them like on a more global kind of picture. And I mean, for me, that's pretty much as far as it gets. Like I look at a lot of alts and all their promises and what they're gonna do.
Do you take fundamental analysis into consideration when you're buying a coin, or are you of the belief of the term that's been going around in the Cartel recently is alts are only good for the pumps?
Like I said, I like looking at it in a more broader term. So if somebody tells me to take a look at an alt, I'll definitely go check out their website and that type of thing. I mean, if they've got a really bad website, odds are that I probably would just, not buy it or not even think about it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, I would keep it very broad when it comes to FA. I think a lot of guys just get way too personal with alts because they, read into it and then believe that this is going to change everything. Rather just, to take a look at the more, the broader picture, and then kind of make a decision on that. So I'd probably say more TA than FA. All
right, so more TA than FA. Now, I'm actually going to turn up on this one because I'm very interested to hear what Turnip has to say in this matter.
FA is a meme right now. Yeah, it's good to. I mean, you should have one or two coins that you like, and you add profits to those coins because you think fundamentally.
Because of
OMG. You think fundamentally long term they will provide value and survive the. I guess a lot of these coins are going to zero, right? And a lot of them are going to disappear. It's just a fact. If you look at like at the .com bubble, pets.com, all of these. There were so many companies for every idea, just like there is for crypto, and only a few survive.
Yeah.
So if you could find a couple of those, that's great. But realize when you're putting money in these, I mean, we're gonna call them shit coins. It's like you realize who really cares, because you're basically putting your money into a promise, because you're not getting a product right now. You're getting the promise of a product. So who really cares in the market doesn't really care about fundamentals right now. You can watch stuff that doesn't even matter. Like what was the other day? A Zcash or Z Classic pumped and it has no devs, right? So like these things are pumping and there's no real logical reason why they're pumping. They're just pumping. So the market clearly doesn't care about fundamentals. And I mean, you should be longing scams, like because like I said before with the promise thing, who really cares if one promise is better than someone else's promise? You're still longing, putting your money into a promise, and that there's a good chance these promises will be broken. So be very careful where you keep your money. You can ride pumps and stuff because they're gonna happen. It's just the fact of this 24-hour market, and with so much money and things to throw money at, and potential for like low cap coins, somebody wants to pump it to make some money. It's gonna happen, but just be very careful.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, you can definitely take into consideration for one or two coins and stuff, but don't go all in on coins just because of FA. And if you do, make sure to at least take profits.
Yeah. Always take profits. Like even on coins that I really love, like at the top, I'm gonna take out 50%, so that other 50% is basically free at that point. If I 2x on a coin, there's times where I'll leave the other 50% in because that's free. That's free coins right there. It's technically profit, and if it goes another 2x, great. If it retraces a little bit, I'll take out a bit more. But you kind of have to get into that mentality that you really want to sit in the larger cap coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yep.
Okay. Wes, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I'll just say, in this market, it's so juicy that price, it's price that's moving the markets. It's not FA. We know Tron is going to keep pumping because of the hype of Justin Sun. So why wouldn't you buy that and make 20% when you can? That does nothing to do with FA. So I think you should split it up, split some investments, and then trading. As a trader, you just want to focus on the price action, which is TA.
Yeah, all right, okay. Good stuff. Kane?
It's funny because I'm going to be the most mixed bag actually here. So one of the books that I spent the most time reading and actually just dived into the most has actually been The Intelligent Investor, Benjamin Graham, Warren Buffett, because I do believe, like it's like Turnip said, there are certain things that are going to come out of this as winners. Do I believe that they're all here right now? No. I'm very intentional about how my portfolio is assembled. I have certain things that I'm going to hold till death. Like I have a certain amount of Bitcoin that doesn't get touched, it's going to be held. A certain amount of Monero, a certain amount of Ethereum.
The backup plan, Monero.
Yeah, and then I have certain investments. Like I have a shit ton that I'm just going to hold forever as well. I have a shit, and part of that is also like a 5-year trade. Part of it is a 1-year trade. But when it comes down to like the cycle that we're going into, let's say, we're getting ready. Like I've been accumulating alts since September. November on some things like Library, Stratus, other things. Like literally just been accumulating the entire time. Took some profit in December. These things, certain things, I play off of psychology, not so much fundamentals. Just looking at how other people are reacting to the market. But I agree with what Turner said as well. You have to look and be able to objectively, and that's where people get caught up. Is like they said,
get too passionate about coin, they're not
you get passionate and married, and that's what burns you. You have to, and this ties back into what Wes and I have said about psychology. Like, yeah, I love Bitcoin, but at the same time, if Bitcoin is MySpace and something else is Facebook, I'll sell all my Bitcoin. Like I'm prepared to.
Right, okay.
Like who else can say that? Are you actually psychologically prepared to do what's more profitable and beneficial for you? Most people can say yes, but when it comes down to it, you couldn't. And that's why I have such a big bag of OMG. Well, if Turnip's big bag of OMG went up 500% right now, I guarantee he could pull the trigger and sell all of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, okay, absolutely. Okay, so you
know what I mean?
So to summarize for you, it's you do pay attention to fundamentals because you take a much longer term positions on altcoins. You didn't even sell off whole positions during the crazy alt season that we just had in December and such. So you do take fundamentals into consideration, but not to the point where they let you cloud your judgment on a trade.
Hell no, I got a shit ton of.
Sweet. Okay. Flood, do you have anything you want to round that off with?
All coins are scams.
Yeah, I was gonna say, flood.
That's why I left you till last. Well, no. The thing is,
You have a large amount of counterparty risk when you hold altcoins. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah,
It's true.
You know, if a dev decides to do the dash on you, then there's not much you can do because you're gonna have to sell the coins to someone. And if there's no liquidity on the bid side, then good luck, right? So, and you know, I've spoken about this a lot, but basically for me, I'm gonna hold Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin. I don't think I'll ever sell a portion of my Bitcoin, no matter what. Not even if something quote unquote better comes along, which I doubt something better will come along. But anyways, yeah, you have, and you know, for a lot of these people on Twitter constantly talking about one altcoin that they're underwater on, it's like no need to even invest more because you're already emotionally invested, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like
you go into the subreddits of these, like some of these places. Like one of the ones I first watched when I got into crypto was the Neo subreddit, and they're like fanatical about Neo, and like every day there would be like different articles about how Neo is like, you know, the new ETH and all that jazz. And when you started seeing it go down, and like Neo obviously, you know, was very bloody after alt season, and the subreddit was in basically disbelief, and they were all you know, shouting "Hodl gang." So okay, so fundamentals are great. You know, it's good to have a couple coins based on fundamentals, but you've always got to be wary of the third party risk, as Flood put it, and you should never let fundamentals cloud your judgment on taking profits and getting out of a trade.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So question.
Also,
sorry, you go, Zebs.
I want to add something there though. I think a lot of guys come into the space thinking about altcoins and thinking that they're gonna 100x and, you know, they're gonna make money. Where I think the easiest way to actually learn and understand the market is actually to hold Bitcoin for quite a long time and maybe try spot trade that instead, you know, and then maybe start looking at alts. And I think a lot of guys do it in reverse. They kind of, you know, get into the game like holding alt. And I know a lot of guys that joined mid last year bought the tops of most alts. So when you do see guys shilling bags now, I'd almost say that these guys are the guys that are, you know,
when you see someone
offloading what they.
When you see someone touting ZCL on Twitter, you know they're bag holding from the fucking airdrop.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's move along. Get a show on the road. So this kind of maybe should have included this earlier on with the most influential traders, but this is more about who your role model is. So it doesn't have to be limited to crypto. So who is your role model, crypto or otherwise, West? When you kick it off. Could be
That's
anyone.
a tough one.
That's a tough one.
I should have maybe told you guys I was going to ask this before the.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is like a heartfelt question, man. What the hell?
All right, okay, we can skip this question if you want. We've got a shitload of those.
Fuck no.
I mean,
Fuck no.
yeah, we gotta answer if you're gonna ask it.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Is it Gary Vaynerchuk? All right, Ken, you go since you're ready to answer.
Gary Vaynerchuk. I know a lot of people can't stand him.
Who is Gary?
He
doesn't know him.
Gary Vaynerchuk runs VaynerMedia, social media marketing company for Fortune 500 companies. Basically, the whole gist of him is just fucking do it. Doesn't matter if you're old, young. If you want to do it, just fucking figure it out. Like, you don't have money. Like, if you're in crypto, and I've talked about this. And guys, like, how did I get some of my money back to start in crypto? I literally sold stuff on eBay that I didn't need. You want more money to trade Bitcoin with? Fucking sell everything in your house that you haven't touched in over. Serious. eBay that shit.
House money, ship it.
Yeah, house money, ship it, literally.
Sweet. Okay. So you're all about you know you're all
figure
about
it out.
having the aggressiveness to go ahead and just do it and, you know, relenting. All right.
Yeah.
Is anybody else ready? Does anybody else know a role model that they want to chat
I can
about?
go now.
Okay, on you go,
I
West.
like
Take it away.
for Market Wizards, Ed Secoda. I was reading a lot about him, you know, as I was trying to build my trading system, and he's one of the all-time greats. He really inspired me to continue trading. I probably will always trade throughout my life. So
Right, okay, cool, okay. Anyone else? Flood, Turnip, Zabs?
No one.
No one.
Would mean that.
Himself.
I'm
In
serious,
this
man.
space,
No one. I don't have any idols or role models. I respect people, but that's about it. I don't really have anyone that I look up to or anything like that. And I don't mean that as in like I think highly of myself. I just think it's really important to be genuine to yourself and to
Not compare yourself to
to
others a lot.
exactly not even not compare yourself to others, but just to forge your own way. And like if you're constantly chasing someone or like trying to replicate someone or something, then I think you're just gonna kind of be like a off-brand version of that. So I try and just keep my head clear and move forward.
Okay. Zabs?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of with Flood on that. I'd rather, always try to look at myself and first respect myself before, trying to be somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if I had to, take a general poker, there would probably be quite a lot of, sports captains and stuff that have, stood out for me. Maybe even like Mandela.
Yeah.
I know it's cliche.
Yeah, that's like the
No,
safe
coming to
option for you. You always had that in the back pocket when I asked this question. Okay. All right, so okay, so it's quite mixed response to Kane, someone who's not in crypto West, someone who was a trader, not necessarily in crypto, and then you guys are saying be more true to yourself. Turnip, got anyone for us?
we talked. I mean, I'm in the same thing as Flood. Like we talked about this in Discord a while ago. You kind of, if you're gonna be great at something, you kind of got to forge your own path through it. You can't really copy somebody else, or you won't really get anywhere.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Good. So that was a nice, snappy, quick question. Moving swiftly onwards. Okay, so this was one that was asked a few times as well, and I think it'd be very good for some people to learn this. How meaningful is the ratio of longs and shorts when trading? Flood, take it away, dear sir. Flood dead. Rip. Okay, West, take it away.
Correct.
Sure. I used it. It was very important guides that monitor sentiment. It's part of. I mean, I monitored that to confirm a couple things as I predicted the short squeeze, but it's useful information as part of a puzzle, right? So if it can help accomplish just a little speck of that puzzle and help you make a trade decision, it's worth looking into.
Okay, and what is it you look for in the ratio? If you see shorts major up high, what would that tell you?
It would mean that a lot of either retail or some major whale or something is shorting and selling. There's sell pressure. Why would there be selling? And then you go from there and try to break down the theory into why should you sell? When is it going to sell? Why would you long this? Are they going to be squeezed, etc.?
Yep. So it's not quite as clear cut as shorts are all time, because one of the big Twitter memes in the bear trend there was it's shorts are all time high, but then someone like Crypto Ray, who's part of the Discord, and the guy does some mad stuff with volume. He I think quite reasonably proved that just because shorts are an all time high, doesn't necessarily mean much, because the volume trading on margin trading exchanges is is way higher than it's ever been before.
Right.
So that's obviously going to affect it. Anyone else?
About what?
I think
How meaningful?
I think a lot of guys also don't actually understand what's going on. So
Retweet.
when
Someone clip that.
when the longs and shorts are let's say Bitfinex, what a lot of guys don't really understand is that it's 3x leverage max. So I mean, if you're holding a really big position at 3x, it's pretty low risk. It's not really going to mean much, but I think like if you're looking at MEX, for instance, and Flood's actually put out a whole bunch of really good material on it. I think January and Feb was like average at 8.6. Correct me if I'm wrong, or 8. I mean, if shorts were at ATH at 8x, I mean, there would definitely be incentive for price to move, move back
Okay. Yeah.
up.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people don't actually understand that. You know, it actually comes down to the position sizes and how much leverage people are using.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. So
Well,
I'm gonna avoid going through the rest of us just for this question, just to speed things up. So is there anything Turnip, Kane, Flood, anything you guys want to add to that? Just to recap.
Nah.
No,
That pretty much said it. People don't know what the fuck
Uh,
you're talking about.
they
Right.
don't. It's like when
Yeah.
everyone got excited over Tether being printed on the way up.
Oh god, please! I was gonna
The
avoid
most the most hilarious part of why it was being printed is because the whales were dumping
Cashing
on you
out?
fools.
Yeah.
cashing out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Tether printed. That's because we're going down, boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flood, do you sounded like you had something to say?
Do your homework.
Do your
People
homework.
think my Twitter account is revolutionary, or I know so much. Like, honestly, I just I do my homework. Like, I want to understand the platform I'm trading on. I want to understand the intricacies and nuances.
Yeah, and then
So,
you've got
you know-
an interest in it aside from just making money. And
Yeah,
obviously, like,
absolutely.
same
But just understand what the fuck you're talking about. Like,
with-
a lot of people on Twitter, man, they have a lot to say, but not
Not much to
not
say.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
not anything of value.
Sweet,
So
okay.
keep your mouth shut if you don't understand.
So on the topic of
finance.
ratios of longs to short, West made a good point that it's not as clear cut as shorts are at an all time high, so we're gonna have a short squeeze. You need to try and figure out why shorts are at an all time high. Does that mean that sentiment is just bearish overall, or does it mean that someone some big whale is loaded up, etc., etc.? And then you guys are also saying, if you're gonna try and use an indicator like that, then at least know what the fuck you're talking about before you do it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And for the people who are asking about the average leverage size, BitMEX wrote an article in which they said that the average leverage used in January, was it, Flood?
January.
Average leverage in January? Yeah.
Was
Arthur
8.6,
said it.
and then from that point, Flood has done a lot of autistic mathematics to figure out liquidation points of people, and they were actually
Weaponized.
Yeah, they were scarily
Oh man.
accurate
Accurate.
at some points.
Accurate.
Actually, where the points we were around accurate.
But it makes sense on Mex. I mean, if the average order is above X price, like, I'm gonna start doing it not just from the. I actually have quite a few charts and stuff saved. I've been compiling them, but
Hell.
I'm not gonna take them from the monthly open. I'm gonna be taking them from the highest volume node of that month, and
Okay.
then we're gonna be going from
All right,
there.
so can we expect a big Twitter thread soon?
Yeah, I'll probably write. I mean, it's probably gonna be something that I'll need to write up, but I'll also post something about it on Twitter as well.
Okay,
Car-
maybe a
Card
meme arc.
Cartel
Probably be a
exclusive
lesson.
post first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cartel
absolutely.
exclusive.
And that's how it always works. I always post
Mhm.
lessons and ideas in the cartel. Whether they're organized or not is another
Yeah.
is another factor. But on Twitter, you're
As someone we're actually
kind of
working
getting
on-
the more refined.
Yeah. Someone we're working on, guys, is a lot of the lessons in the Discord right now are obviously in Discord format, which might not be the best for reading. We're working on getting them into PDFs and getting them hosted on the
Yeah.
website, so they'll be a lot clearer cut and easier to read and interpret.
The way they're put up is slightly distracting.
It is a little bit, but we didn't have a better medium at the time.
Yeah.
So we'll get them on the website. I'll try and get that sorted this week. I kind of, as soon as that was my project for this week, and then we started talking about podcast, and I instantly just dropped everything for it because I was pretty excited. So question 12: which coin outside of the top 10 market cap do you think will blow up in 2018? Now this question's a bit shit because it's kind of like a when moon sir kind of thing. So
When moon, sir.
I gotta figure out what the top 10 market cap is.
oh boys, I just fucked the three.
Wait, what'd you do?
I was fiddling with my keyboard and I pressed the right key like 3 or 4 times. Don't worry about it.
Now they know.
Yeah, now they know.
Oh man, now they know.
And now they know what? Now they know what?
What
Oh, look
top
at that.
10 market cap do you think will blow up in 2018?
So Flood,
Monero.
do you have any thoughts on this? All altcoins or
Damn
shitcoins?
it.
Bitcoin and Monero. That's all you need.
Yeah.
I'm serious, and I'm not being ironic. And Ethereum. I mean, of course Ethereum, but it's a bit late to buy in, I think.
Mhm.
Those are top 10 though.
Yeah. So I mean, if I
Insane.
had to have a portfolio, I would have it be 50% Bitcoin, 25% Monero, Ethereum, and I would just let it sit. An investment portfolio.
Okay.
My portfolio is actually a majority ETH right now, surprisingly, but that's just because it's gone up so much from where I bought it. So.
All right, Turnip. Why don't you go next in this one? King of the shitcoins.
Oh, and let me say go, because if ETH does well, they will too.
Okay.
It seems like Vitalik is pretty much invested into them, into being their like first platform on Plasma and all that kind of stuff.
All right, Kane.
Yeah, they scammed him.
Yeah, they scammed him. Yeah.
What's your
Hold
blow
on.
coin of 2018? Or do you need a second?
I'm scrolling through.
I'm just gonna take a random coin that I've heard of before.
See it coin is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
kill me now, dude. Even from an FA standpoint, that coin is dog shit.
I know. So this is why we have so much fun in the cartel.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. But like, how the hell? Okay, we're gonna make this a little more fun because we'll just argue. Okay, so see a coin. How the hell is it supposed to become like? How is it? It doesn't make any sense. There's like 10 times more points of failure. Like we can just have something in a warehouse and we usually there. Like, what the hell are you going to store that needs to be decentralized unless it's illegal? Please tell me.
That's
Okay,
kind of the point.
So,
Yeah, it's gonna be full of like kitty porn and shit.
We've got We've got time for shooting the shit and arguing later on.
But I still love you, Ken.
West,
I
do you
know.
have anything that you think outside the top 10 market cap is going to blow up?
Yes, a Japanese liquidity exchange called Quash, QASH.
Oh.
There is World Book coming, and actually, they're Japanese-based companies are behind it, so it's worth looking into.
Okay, so Cash, Amisco, not see a coin. Zabs, what
Zero
about
X.
yourself?
Zero X. There you go.
You guys love your
fuckers.
0x.
Zero X.
0x.
Fucking cunts.
Yeah, I'm with West. I've done a report on Quash or Quash or how do you pronounce it?
I love to read it.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
And if they do pull it off, it probably would be definitely heading into the top 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your report, can we expect that on the website anytime soon for public reading?
Well, it's already been posted in the alt chat a few times. So...
Oh, right. Okay. So it's in the altcoin channel on the Discord, right? Check it out, guys. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've covered everybody's bases there. Kane, no, you said see a coin. Flood, you hate all altcoins.
Okay. Zero.
Yeah, 0x is a good scam.
Okay, so
I would buy some 0x.
Okay.
Ha.
0x is a good scam.
They have like
Oh,
a
no,
weird
no, no,
rumor
no.
with Coinbase.
Wait, Raven coin. Raven
Flood's just-
coin. No,
Flood's
no,
just
seriously, Raven coin. I'm not even being ironic right now.
Why do
Okay.
you like Raven?
Raven coin is I mean I can't tell you, but I like Raven coin, man. I think Raven coin is gonna be for those of you who listen to me about Ethereum. For those of you who understand,
okay.
like I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone
Okay,
someone is about to go and more than what someone is gonna go and fucking market buy Raven coin or whatever. fucking
Yeah.
exchange is.
Raven
Raven
coin is a
coin.
U-specific blockchain to carry statements of truth about who owns what asset.
Yes.
Is this
what does that
anything to
even
do
mean?
with IBM and?
Yeah. What
and
is? Yeah. It shows how much fundamentals we.
Raven coin.
Flood's been bag holding for a couple months. We won't talk
In the
about that.
fictional world of Westeros is where their sentence starts. What the hell, man? Ravens are used as the messengers who carry statements of truth. Please tell me this is not their mission statement.
No, I'm serious, man. Raven coin. You guys are laughing now, but you won't be laughing.
Hey,
I'm gonna buy some 'cause
someone
you
click
said
it.
it.
Yeah,
What the
someone
hell?
click it.
I'm market buying it right now. Profitable.
All right. Okay. So there was a quick fire round, but fuck that. So topic: BTC reversal. Is the bear meme over? Flood, take it away, son. Is the bear meme over?
Is the bear meme over? Let's see. Would I long at this price? Probably not. So I think the bear meme might not be over. I really think we need to see a break and close and significant time spent traded above 11.612K.
Yeah.
I think that will fully convince every single person who's waiting on the sidelines, who doesn't believe in Bitcoin, that Bitcoin can rebound off the lows like it's done so many times, and then we won't have a prolonged bear market.
Okay.
But no, I can't say for sure either way, but it looks bullish to me.
Zabs, is the bear meme over?
Look, I mean, I luckily, did average down, and I've got a really good entry, so I'm holding it. Probably the same as Flood. The last time we reversed from, I think, 2014, 2013, was when we broke above cloud, and I think we're currently in the cloud, so it's probably about 12.7, and then I would probably see huge money getting thrown back into it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I'm bullish. I'm bullish on Bitcoin, man.
You're bullish on Bitcoin. Okay. West, is the bear meme over?
I do think the worst for Bitcoin has passed,
Okay.
and we should see, based on
Such a-
whatever the market tells us. I think 10K is very possible in the near short term. So once we get there, obviously, reanalyze and see what happens.
Okay. Kane, is the bear meme over?
I'm gonna be the complete. I'm gonna be a complete cunt and say turn up, and I called it at 6.5. Everything has gone according to plan on our weekly setups, and I do agree with what has been said. There are certain levels within
Yeah, I think
price
everybody knows
sitting. Yeah, there are certain levels in price above us which closed above, traded above on a higher time frame, 3-day weekly, will cause significant interest on the sidelines to return. And we have yet to get to those levels. Holding trades from low 8,000s now, comfortably, not worried about any type of move down below that, personally.
Okay. Turn up, is the bear market over? I'm going to stop saying meme or mimi because Flood's just laughing at me in the chat.
Mimi. It's a bear Mimi.
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 I don't know. I think so, but like you shouldn't play everything like it's over, right? You should only do one trade at a time and take it as you go, because this shit can turn around in 2 seconds. Like
sure.
we kind of saw yesterday. What if that wasn't like a fat finger and people really start market dumping like 2,000, 6,000 Bitcoin in 30 seconds? Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Find them and kill
be
them.
very careful.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's over for now.
Okay, you think it's over for now? Okay. Okay. And another question on addition to this. One thing that Turnup's talked about personally with me quite a lot is that you can look at kind of, let's say, coin market cap, for example, and look at Bitcoin's price and then the alt seasons and stuff like that and when they happen, and they seem to follow a relative timeline, okay, of first couple months of the year, January, February, bear market, and then recovery, alt season, Bitcoin recovery, then the high market caps pump, and then the alt season pumps, and then it's Bitcoin turn to go fucking bull tard again, and then rinse and repeat. And Turnup said, to me in March, watch this, April we'll have an alt season, and you might not call this full on alt season, but we've had a lot of pumps. Do you guys think that it is that clear as day?
Yeah.
That
I mean, it happens
such
every single
tight
year,
timelines,
right? But when does it change? Because a lot of these alt currencies, like Ethereum blew up this year, right? And a lot of these alt currencies might blow up later in the year because they're actually realizing products and actually releasing stuff rather than just being vaporware. So this year might be a little bit different towards the tail end. But usually what happened is, like, you always have like the bear market from January to March, right? And then you have the April pump, and then you have pumps, more altcoin pumps throughout like the summertime. But looking at it and talking with West, like, if you think about it, it makes sense for them to have those alt markets in April, because not a lot of new money is coming into Bitcoin because people are scared. They don't want to put their fiat in. And it's understandable because it just keeps going down. Like, they probably got wrecked. So a lot of the that first initial alt boom, like kind of the one we're in, it kind of feels like people either packing bags, they like historically are packing bags for the later alt season, but it also feels like that's where large positions in Bitcoin are multiplying their Bitcoin, because they can't do it really through by just trading Bitcoin USD, but they can easily take control of an alt market and make it pump and dump. So if they can't get liquidity through dollars, they can definitely get it through the alt market, especially when people are waiting for something to pump.
Sure. Okay. So Does anybody else disagree with that? Does anybody want to add anything to that? No.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Okay.
It's
Pew pew.
everything's here. It's this. Yeah, pew pew. It's not going away. Why would you stop utilizing the things that can make you a shit ton of money? Like you
Innovation's
said.
coming too. A lot
Yeah.
of cool stuff.
Yeah. So it's the tail end of this year will probably look a little different than it did before, where like
Right.
alt's just dumpster.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you guys think about Binance on ramping fiat, moving to Malta and all that jazz? Do you think this is going to be? Do you think this means that when alt season happens, if it does happen again, do you think it's going to be absolutely nuts, like nothing like we've ever seen before? Do you think it's going to be?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
I believe we
Yes.
have a .com bubble era in crypto eventually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you think this? You think we're not in the bubble already? You think the bubble's yet to come?
Oh, we're in the bubble, but we're at the
We're in
beginning of
one.
the bubble.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're gonna see
Yeah.
some massive.
You're
Just
gonna see some
crazy
stupid
stuff.
shit happen.
Right.
like what you saw. Here's the example that I've given over and over again. Look what happened to Ripple, from 25 cents up to $3 because Bitcoin went parabolic. You get a fiat on ramp to exchange with USD pairings. All of a sudden,
Coinbase.
all of a sudden, all these people see that they can directly deposit their money onto Binance or Bittrex, whatever, and you've got coins that are in the couple thousand satoshis right now, but are like whatever, a couple cent under $1.
Yeah.
The exact same thing that happened with Ripple
It's cheap,
is going to
so why
happen
not buy it?
with each of these coins over and
Right.
over.
Yeah, who's ever got their marketing down?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, seriously.
The marketing, it's going to be
Yeah.
just batshit crazy with
It's
some
a
of this.
Partnerships
Kane.
and shit.
Yeah.
And to support Kane, next time we have 300 bill enter the market in a week, they're gonna welcome that with open arms, not closing exchanges left and right. And
Yeah.
frozen
Okay. So that.
all
Yeah.
kinds of
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. They need to be ready for that this time. I think like the
Yeah.
fact that Trex have only last week got their registrations back open since December. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
And look how
shit.
look how quickly they
they
closed
had to
those
close
things
them
down
again
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. Yeah. Okay. So
Still
this-
doesn't
things-
work.
Things like that should be an indicator to you
Yeah.
of where.
Yeah, the gates are
General
closed
mindset.
right now. The gates are
For a
not
reason.
open.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to realize if you're trading shitcoins right now, you're in like the 0.1% of people in
it's a
crypto.
battle between
Yeah.
us to accumulate before
Absolutely.
they come in.
Mhm.
Yeah, because once those fiat gateways that are easily acceptable to normal people, like when Coinbase adds ERC20 tokens, like it's going to be game over. This is going to be pumps like you've never seen before, which I
Yep.
don't think is even going to be affected by Bitcoin because there'll be USD pairs.
Yeah.
And it'll decouple. Yeah,
So
Yep.
it's not too late to get into crypto.
Nope.
absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just don't
so-
don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, for
Literally,
real,
don't
though.
do something dumb.
Yeah,
it's that
just-
easy, guys. Just
L-
shove
lear-
the top
learn-
along the ball. Don't be
no.
stupid.
That's what we talked about this whole entire thing. It's just, be smart with your money, learn, and be patient. Like,
And do a healthy amount of psychedelics.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Steve Jobs did.
Yeah. It works so well for
I'm gonna get
McAfee
that.
as well, so we should just.
No, I'm serious. You just think I'm joking. But do a definitely understand. Bubble has just started. $1 billion isn't that much to most large hedge funds. So throwing a couple billion here and there into random altcoins might become commonplace.
the norm.
So stay alert, stay vigilant, don't give up, and then if it turns out to all be a scam, make sure you have a backup plan, right? Make sure you have real
TV bonds.
tangible assets, whether that be property, car, whatever. Hopefully not
Pages.
people, but but you guys know what I'm saying.
We're gonna have a farm.
We're gonna have a farm. And someone's also suggested that you open a salmon farm, Flood.
Yeah.
I'm just, no one actually said that.
Jesus
Wanted to say that. Okay, cool.
Ah.
Okay, so for now, it looks like the bear meme is is
Fucking
over.
there you
Stop. Is over. Flood, you
Yeah.
said that you're still, you want to see 11.6 break. I think 11.6. Everyone knows that 11.6 is a good level to watch. We've double topped there. Yada yada yada. Okay. So the next topic is Mt. Gox has just moved a considerable amount of funds from one wallet to another. Now,
That's fun.
everyone was screaming that
Cool.
Mt. Gox guy is the reason that we dumpstered from 20k. It totally wasn't because of, you know, we reached the top or anything like that. Do you think this is bad, or what do you think? Let's just say about Mt. Gox moving funds and such a large amount. Wes, do you want to kick this one off?
Sure. I believe it was all set up to accumulate more Bitcoin at that level. I really do.
Okay.
Yeah, insider trading is commonplace.
Okay. So you think that the last dumpage of Mt. Gox funds was, you know, bring price low so you can accumulate more, and you could argue the last, you know, the 2 weeks that you were talking about, which was watching paint dry. Do you think that it was accumulation of Bitcoin?
Yes.
People knew. Yeah,
Yeah.
people knew.
Okay.
They definitely knew what was coming. They knew we were going to hit 10K or higher soon.
Yeah. Okay. Zabs, what do you think about Mt. Gox moving funds?
Yeah, and I agree with the guys.
Okay.
I also probably would imagine that, because at the moment there's quite a lot of talk whether it went to an exchange or whether it went OTC. For all we know, they might have also done a massive OTC deal. Needed to move them.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. It could be one big massive OTC deal. That would be pretty astronomical. How much Bitcoin was it again? The exact number? Does anyone know?
I think 20,000, 16,000,
Jesus. Right. Okay.
something like that.
All right. Flood. What do you think?
Bitcoin's gonna go up.
Yay. Bitcoin go up.
I don't know, man. I think with the Mt. Gox stuff,
Do you think it's
you know,
fun?
reading. No, I don't think it's FUD. I mean, it just shows we're not really a liquid market. But I mean, people knew. Like, people knew
Yeah.
when Binance was hacked. People know ahead of time. They're gonna take advantage of it. There's insider trading all the time. It used to just be called reading the tape, like when people would front run large institutional flow. So, in an unregulated market where you can make an anonymous account on Mex, deposit some Bitcoin and short 50x before someone market dumps hundreds of millions of dollars, why wouldn't you? I
Yeah.
would.
Nobody clipped that. Nobody clipped that.
We saw that on we saw that before the China FUD. I remember seeing $7.8 million when it looked pretty bullish, So there's going to be insider trading, whether you want to close your eyes and cover your ears or not. So you can either adapt, not get upset, right? No need to be upset. It is what it is. Just stick to your plan. Stick to your plan, and that's all you can do.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay. Kane, Mt. Gox moving funds.
Nobody fucking knows what they're talking about.
Yeah,
It
okay.
doesn't fucking matter. Like, if I told you about the number of OTC deals that have gone on in the exact same time frame of multitudes larger amounts being sold, you'd freak the fuck out. Like,
Sure.
it's the same thing as the other guys have said. Like, shit was known ahead of time. It's all a chess match. Things were utilized to freak out people, and then we just watched accumulation happen.
Mhm.
I laugh, like, when people get worried. Oh, these funds are being moved. These funds are being moved. No one fucking cares.
All right. Okay.
I don't fucking care.
Turn up. Do you care?
Nope.
Okay. Good stuff. Okay. So
Just, I mean, trade better. If you care, if you're worried about your trade being in, if you're worried about your trade because of something like that, then you just need to fucking trade better.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Can't do anything about it.
Okay, so the last topic we've got, which I think will be really quite funny to discuss, was the Pump and Dump article from CryptoMedicated.
Ooh.
Lol.
This did the rounds on Twitter. I'm sure you've all seen it. You've all read it. It's basically a couple of traders, some of them who, like CryptoGat, run a paid group. Bitcoin Bravado was heavily involved in it. It happened in Bitcoin Bravado, did it not? Sorry. And
Something like that.
just to get it out the way, because everyone's going to bring it up, yes, there was 2 members in our Discord who were part of that. They've been removed from their ranks and stuff like that. We had nothing to do with it. What do you guys think of it? Because we've laughed about this quite a few times.
We have.
And this is
First off,
controversial subject, and everyone's mad at me in the chat right now. But
I know, yeah.
I think it would
Chat.
be shitty of us to not discuss this.
Chat, fuck off. You guys asked. You guys made this question a question. Don't say fucking no. Why?
Okay, so Kane, kick off. Pump and dump article.
I care and I don't care.
You care and you don't care.
Yeah, I care because, like, this is part of the reason why the cartel was started. Is because we fucking hate people like this, and it shows more of like what goes on. I also don't care because, guys, this is all of these markets. This is everything. This is everything. You think that, like, all your little Cryptopia coins, this is not happening on your little fucking, like, Cryptopia low cap. Like, this is everything that is going on in this market right now, including Bitcoin itself. What do you think that 2 weeks of fucking just paint drying down at the bottom was?
Yeah.
People with a shit ton of money that actually know what they're doing, that can throw in more than one or two, doing that with Bitcoin.
Yeah. Okay.
Your job is not to care. Your job is to just understand how to trade profitably along with what's going on.
And that's kind of what Flood was just saying. It's an unregulated market. Like, of course, this shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yep. No one's mad when Tika does it.
Yeah. If you could rig the most profitable bet in the history of mankind, why wouldn't you? That's always been my question when we've talked about this in Discord.
This is the
Like,
game.
Yeah, understand that people are doing this. Don't be surprised when it comes out on Twitter. Like, it's unregulated. It's going to happen.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with cornering a market, and all you little babies crying for regulation should shut your mouths. That's all I have to say about it.
You want something to say, like, you want something truly decentralized.
This is why I wanted to talk about this, right? This is
Yeah,
what I wanted
guys.
to talk.
You want something truly decentralized?
I'm libertarian.
Yeah, truly censor resistant. Like, here it is.
By the way, I'm just letting you know.
It's gonna happen.
There's a dashboard for when you're streaming to watch, like the chat and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
you can see how many clips have been made of this stream. And the two biggest spikes was right after Flood said all that shit just there, and they're now spiking up right now after Flood just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've
That's
told
how
you
the
over and
game's
over.
played. Look at
Yeah.
Wall Street. That's how it works.
Perfect.
This is
Okay.
exactly what happens in, like, the real world. It's way easier for people with a lot of money to do it here.
And these guys who did it are probably the worst players in the game, and they scheme for paid. It's bad.
Yeah, dude, they don't
it
even
was-
have half the Bitcoin I have in my Mexican. I mean, seriously, guys, like,
it
I'm
was
just
sad.
being
This is-
honest.
This is pretty sad.
Listen to
That was
the-
a,
Like,
that was
come
a,
on,
that was a
like-
pretty sad attempt.
Dude, a couple of Bitcoin, like, into
That's-
some altcoin no one cares about. Like, who the fuck cares, man? If you want to talk about real scammers and real manipulation, you should be getting angry about the algorithm that has
Yeah,
been just
so-
absolutely murdering people on Mex. Or you should be talking about the blatant quote stuffing that goes on Finex. That should be your concern, not like $100 million market cap. Who cares?
Read Rolong's article
I mean, seriously,
see
guys, like,
how the
who the
game is played.
fuck cares, man?
about
And
Dogecoin.
Yeah, and that's how, like, when we say people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, that's what we mean. Like, people can get mad on Twitter about, like, these little nerds doing this, but you don't understand, like, what Flood just talked about, what's going on the major exchanges that you should actually be concerned about. That's why we say, like, it's a joke, and
Okay,
it's
so,
bullshit.
So
I
from
mean,
aside
really
from
is a joke.
aside from the morals of it and how outraged Twitter was, right? What do you think? Did you think it was funny? Do you think it was just sad? I mean, like Zabs,
I
you said,
think it was sad.
for them to have done that in a obviously quite a public place, you know, and you know, it's not like they knew everybody. There was loads of people who were sitting in that chat and they didn't say anything or anything like that. You know, it was a pretty fucking stupid move, and like obviously a CTA, you know, we miss him. F in the chat for CTA boys.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, like, you know, it was a pretty silly mistake, like, to do that in such a public forum if you're worried about the Twitter blowback and all these people like CryptoGat and stuff like that. Shout out to the boys who made some CryptoGat memes in the cartel.
Yeah,
Top
shout out to the CryptoGat memes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, those are hilarious.
So, and also apologies to CTA when he watches this VOD because he probably hates us.
He's
but yeah,
watching right now.
it was a pretty silly move doing that in a public place. We all agree.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
pretty
okay.
dumb
They
to
played
write.
their
Yeah.
hand terribly.
Okay, and
One thing that I can add, which actually grinds my balls the most, is that there's a lot
grinds
of-
my
there's a lot
balls
of-
the most. What a beautiful saying.
there's a lot of guys that are getting a lot of attention, and they're not traders, and that's certainly not journalism either. I mean, you know, to put stories out there just so that you can diss somebody else. I mean, what is it actually going to get you? I personally, I wouldn't want somebody like that in a group, and that's not because I'm hiding anything, but I mean, the way stuff can be photoshopped and the way that information
Context.
flows on Twitter
Yeah.
and context, can be taken the wrong way. Like I would I would never ever want to include somebody like that in a project if I ever was going to be doing a project in the crypto space.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
number one, I don't know, that's like blown every single person's credibility from the guy that ratted it out to the guys that took
Yeah,
part.
because the guy that
I mean,
read it out, he's definitely not blameless in this. Like, you know, as he kept releasing more
you know, why would you need a
articles and
pump and dump group
quotations.
Yeah. Why are you there in the first place? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
Okay, absolutely.
So, and I just feel that that's probably the reason why I'm not so involved on Twitter anymore, and I post most of my stuff in the Cartel.
Yep.
Because Twitter's almost just become like this, like how many followers you've got.
It's
type of
it's like
concept.
it's just
I don't actually give a shit, man.
It's a very big
I
echo
don't.
chamber.
haven't celebrated.
Yeah.
I haven't celebrated like that. I've got this many followers. I don't care, bro. Like I'm gonna put
It's
out
so
my
toxic.
content.
And, like,
Kane's
He-
like, it's toxic and also calls GAT an FAGT.
I like toxic.
hey.
I'm toxic.
Yeah, toxic's fun.
But
Toxic
it's,
is
it,
good.
But, like,
it's,
the
it's
problem
like
with
the high
that-
school toxic. It's sad. It's
Like
like
the problem with that article, it wasn't even meant to be like to reveal what was happening. It was meant to be a hit piece.
yes.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, you talk shit to me on Twitter, so I'm gonna put out this hit piece. It's like, oh no, and then he wrote like, oh, I'm not afraid to I am. Come at me. This is my Twitter name. It's like,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
tell me your real fucking name.
Meet me at the Bitcoin convention.
Like seriously, you're gonna say like, oh, tough guy, show me your Twitter name. It's like if you're gonna play that tough guy card, like, I'm not saying like, oh man, fight me IRL, but like, I didn't. That was just laughable to me.
But fight the IRL.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
So-
and also,
on you go, Zabs.
and also if you are gonna do something in the crypto like community, pointing out scammers and stuff, okay, yeah, cool, but it doesn't make you any better, especially when you were in the same group and
Yeah.
hanging with the same people. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, like, man, just get out there and do your thing, and
Yeah.
and I mean, forget about the numbers.
Put your head
Like,
down and
in
do
the
the
end,
work.
everyone can buy followers. I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
It's,
Fuck it. Next.
Next.
Okay, so next. So actually, there isn't actually a next. I genuinely, you know, we kind of fired through all those questions and stuff, and I actually did kind of want to plan for 2 hours, and we've done 2 hours and 10 minutes. I mean, if you guys want to shoot the shit, we can shoot the shit, or we can end the podcast here, let Turnip stream, and we can all ruin Turnip stream by fucking shooting the shit in his
I
stream.
can do whatever. I don't care.
So anyway, okay, so we'll round off the podcast there then. Thank you very much, guys, for coming along and doing the
Yeah, it was a
podcast.
pleasure.
Sorry I've nagged you all week about this, and yeah, West.
No,
you know-
this was awesome.
yeah. Shout out
Yeah.
to West for being our first special guest. You should check out his Twitter.
Fuck
And you should
yeah.
also check out his website. It's CryptoWest.com. He always puts out free content for everyone, and he's just a a great person to listen to. Has a lot of great ideas. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you for coming
Thank
along,
you.
West. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeet.
Absolutely, anytime.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, thanks, West.
And so yeah, we've banged it with the boys quite successfully, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't know when the next podcast will be. It'll probably be Cred based on what the votes were. Cred's very
gonna annoy
upfront
him.
and shock horror, so you can all tune in and listen to his posh English voice, and he can tell you about the 3 trades a month he takes out. And
A year?
Okay, so yeah, I just want to quickly shout out to Joe and one other person, which I'm going to fuck up the pronunciation of their name, but Bewinxt. Two members from our Discord to help me out with some Photoshop stuff today, last minute. That beautiful tip
Nice.
jar, if you exit the full screen and look at the beautiful tip jar, that was Joe.
Nice.
And Bewinxt helped with the panels for the Discord stuff, so shout out to them. Flood, thank you. Turn Up, thank you. Kane, thank you. Zabs,
Whoa.
thank you for staying up
Hell
late.
yeah.
And CryptoWest, thank you for
Lol.
being here, guys.
Hell
And,
yeah.
yeah, so that was pretty cool. We'll organise another one soon if you guys are up for doing another one.
Yeah,
Fuck
definitely.
yeah.
And all
Thanks,
that-
Bandito.
Yes.
Yeah. And thanks to Bandito for your major contribution there, buddy. He should at least be in the stream. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday for him. We'll let him off, boys.
I'll probably start streaming, I guess.
Okay, so
in like
Turn Up and
5
throw up a
minutes.
stream and we'll host Turn Up. Now, there's 288 viewers. We hit a peak of 375, which is pretty nuts for a first time stream.
Yeah.
I want to see 288 viewers in Turn Up stream, or you're all bitches.
Yeah.
I'll start in like 5 minutes.
Okay. We'll
Word.
see you guys in 5 minutes then. And I'll end the stream here.
Bitcoin pump.
Bitcoin pump, hat. Bitcoin
Oh,
pump.
look,
I
boys.
just gotta like pee and shit.
The Cartel does it again. We pump Bitcoin for you. I mean, nothing is.
Yeah.
Don't look at this. Don't look at that. All right, guys. Well, actually, I've said we'll close here in like 6 times. We actually will. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Goodbye.
Peace out.
Peace.
Info.